Hi YouTube, how you doing? This is Donna LC 4560 coming to you with another video. This is my 144 video, and this is part 2 of the other video, and the title is Ways You Know You Are Dealing with a Broke Man. Yeah, and like I said, when I started writing this, I realized that some of these things in here, I was talking about myself because I was broke at the time, but I ran into a lot of broke guys that a lot of this stuff was on the list for them. So if you ever dealt with this before or you dealing with it now, believe me, you dealing with a broke man that don't have nothing. And if you're doing a little better, he's pulling you down and they'll keep you down. All right, like I said, this is Donna LC 4560 coming to you 144 video. And the title is Ways You Know You Are Dealing with a Broke Man. Here we go. When he can't afford life insurance. Yeah, you got a lot of people out there, they don't have no life insurance. And if they have any, their mother done took it out on them. Mother or father. Yep, okay. When he can't afford health insurance. Yeah, that's broke. Yep, that means he don't have a decent job that takes out health insurance. Yep. When he can't afford to go to the dentist to get his teeth fixed. Yeah, when you're talking to somebody and they got 4 or 5 teeth missing, the front two front teeth missing, all of that. They can't afford to go to the dentist. They broke. They don't have no kind of health plan insurance. Okay? When he thinks a TV dinner is a good meal, yeah, I dealt with a guy like that. He actually thought a TV dinner was a good meal. And it happened to be Hungry Man dinner. He actually thought that was a good meal. Yep. Okay. When he get his meats from Dollar Tree, the Dollar Tree store. Yep. This was back in the day when Dollar Tree everything was $1. It done went up now to 125, and a lot of the stuff in a Dollar Tree is more than 125. So they need to change that name. They need to change it to dollar 125 and more something, But anyway, yeah, I dealt with a guy like that. When he get free food from the food pantry center, there's nothing wrong with getting free food, but when you got to get it every single day, all the time, on the weekends, just to have something to eat, you broke and struggling. Okay. When he eats at the soup kitchen, ain't nothing wrong with eating at the soup kitchen. Because I like going out daily bread. Yep. Sometimes their food is pretty good. Yep. But when you got to go there all the time because you don't have no food in your cabinets, yeah, that's bad. I had a guy do this. When he decided to go and be a vegetarian to save on meats. Yeah, I had a guy to do that one time. He was so broke, he said he was going to become a vegetarian to save on meats. But when he came around me to my place, all of a sudden he wanted pork chops, ground beef, chicken, fish, even steak sometimes. Yeah, but over his place or wherever he was staying, he wanted to practice being a vegetarian. Okay. When he can't afford to go on a vacation during his vacation time. Yeah. I met a few guys like that. Be actually truthful, most of the ones that I met, they ain't even stay on a job long enough to get a year vacation. But the ones that I did meet, they claimed they was on vacation. They couldn't afford to go nowhere. They stayed home and watched TV or watched the movies, a movie on the TV or something like that. They couldn't afford it. Excuse me. When he stays in a homeless shelter to save money. And I had a couple of guys call themselves telling me they saving money and they in the shelter. But been in the shelter, off and on in the shelter for over 2, 3 years. Hmm. Should have been able to save plenty by then. Okay. When he is behind his bills every month. Every month. Yeah, he's broke. There was a guy in Baltimore. It was like he was advertising. He was behind his rent. He invited me over for lunch. First thing I seen on his TV was um, it was a paper saying he was late with his rent. He was so late he had to pay that $50. It was like he was advertising that he was late with his rent. Yeah, he put it up on his refrigerator. So when you go to the refrigerator, before you open the refrigerator, that's the first thing you see. Okay. Um. All right. When he goes to different charities to get free personal hygiene products. Yeah, he can't afford to get them at Dollar Tree or Family Dollar. He has to go different places and collect hygiene products, toothpaste, soap, washcloths, uh, bath wipes, all kind of stuff like that, deodorant and all. Okay. When he don't have any emergency money for emergency. Yeah, no extra money for emergency. Like 1 month's rent. Something if something go wrong. Hell, half of 1 month's rent. Don't have nothing. He's broke. When he qualify and receive food stamps, he's not making that much if he got to get food stamps. Yeah. When he gets a monthly check like Social Security, disability, unemployment check, just enough for him to live off of. Yeah, he broke. Yeah. Okay. When he has to cut his own hair to save money. And I done ran into some guys call themselves save money, cut their own hair. But now they done made it real easy. You can get your hair cut for free at Christian Service Center. It's this place called Salt. It's off of Orange Blossom Trail in Gore. Yeah, they moved the Salt Center a little over a year ago. But yep, same money. They call themselves cutting their own hair. Okay, when it takes him 2 checks just to pay his rent, that's when you know you broke too. Yeah, when it takes 2 checks to pay your own rent. Mm-hmm. And then the other check gonna go on electricity or food or stuff like that. So you broke. Okay. When you can't afford to buy full price for your medicine, yeah, you have to get the generic because you can't afford to buy it. Yep. When you can't afford to buy good quality food, yeah, that's a problem. Yep. You gotta go for the generic and the cheap kind and all. Yep. This last one here on this paper, when he has to sell or pawn things to have some extra money. Yep, I done ran into guys like that. We had to sell and pawn stuff just to have extra money. And some I done ran into, they ain't have nothing to sell or pawn. Yeah, they had nothing to sell or pawn. That's how broke they was. So these are all the ways, some of the ways, because I have plenty more, of ways you are dealing with a broke man or have dealt with a broke man before. All right. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you so much for listening. This is Donna LC 4560 coming to you with her 144th video. I appreciate it. If you like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much. I will be coming back to do probably 2 videos Thursday because I ain't gonna have time tomorrow. I have to work. But I will be coming back Thursday to do 2, maybe 3. Yep, videos. Thanks again. All right. Bye bye.